Alright. So, yeah,
Okay.
take it away.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our first podcast.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
This is your boy H3, aka Fata.
Fata in the house.
Yeah. I'd just like to introduce you guys to our podcast. This is from Project 23. Welcome, guys. Hopefully, you guys can also introduce yourselves from the left to the right. I think, Wise, you can take us off first, man.
Yo, boys' names was Clue, Rockstar, man. AKA G Jagger. Welcome to Project. We do the podcast. Get into like how people think and shit.
Yeah. Nah, that's some dope stuff, man. Appreciate you for being here. What about yourself?
Hey man, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Hello, my name is Andrew Bishop, also known as Drew. Happy to be here.
Hey, that's what's up.
It's your girl, Miss Iverson, aka Miss Ivy, and happy to be here.
That's what's up. Now, we appreciate you guys for being here as well. And first and foremost, we just want to give you a brief understanding of what Project 23 is all about. Project 23 is basically a collaborative project. We've had like 16 artists on the project itself. From those 16 artists, we came about to 15 tracks as an essence. And it was different walks in terms of how we created these 15 projects. Even me, myself, I got involved a bit later on. Now I'm talking like as if I was involved from the complete beginning. That's some crazy stuff. But that's not even the situation. So I'm speaking from a stance of having joined the project and then, understanding the walk of the project in essence. And that's why all of us are here as well. All of us gave that same life, that same input to bring all of this to life. That's, I think why we also created a track called Life on the project itself, It's crazy how all of this goes 360. So maybe just to start us off a little bit, we just wanted to introduce the project itself. So maybe just to get a feel from you guys, how was it like for you guys, creating this project, Who of you would like to answer that question in essence?
Let me maybe start with that.
Okay.
So basically from the first day, when we did the call out, the first place that we met up at was Backpackers Guest House. Because we had the studio set up there, and from that day the energy was just like on a high level. Everybody vibed with each other. We all were there for one cause, and we just did our thing until the level that we're on right now, like the stage that we're at right now. And it's been a good journey, like getting to know you guys from a more broader perspective.
Shout out.
And also just getting to know you guys, that was really cool. And also just how everything is coming together without really forcing it.
I think that's essentially even how this came together. Like nothing is forced. That's one thing. Even me with music personally. How I like to create my music is I don't force it. I've opened up multiple projects and after 2 minutes, I'll close it if it just doesn't feel right. And I feel like that's how we also handle a lot of this. What were some of the ups and downs? Especially bringing all of this together. What were some of the biggest challenges that, some of you could have faced along the road, even from coming here, even from maybe writing, especially when it came to the creative side. Maybe I should go first.
I was about to say, let's start with you.
One of the biggest challenges I faced, I remember on the first day, I remember I think I was even invited 2 days in advance. 2 days. That's when you gave me a call. You were like, listen, H, we're about to do a project, man. And I was like, bruh, what's this shandy about, man? He was like, nah, just come pull up, man. And I was like, man, I'm so eager. So the day in advance, I'm busy exporting beats, but I'm like, man, I'm so eager, man. I look forward to this. I'm exporting beats. And the day itself comes and I'm like, bruh, now this time I'm coming from a very low state. I won't even lie to you guys. I had very low income. I had very little going for myself. I was thinking to myself, bruh, what must I do? But I saw this as a great opportunity to kickstart what I was doing, because coming from that, I had almost 150 beats that I was making. And I had to showcase this to some platform. And I was thinking to myself, what must I do? Where must I go? because SoundCloud just wasn't doing it for me, and I felt like uploading is one thing, but a platform like this might help me to showcase my beats. So
yeah, on a local perspective.
100%.
Yeah.
No worries. Please go ahead if
So,
you guys want to cut. So for me, it was just amazing, man. My challenge, what I was gonna mention is, I was coming from a low space, and I didn't know how I was gonna get to the space. And I remember, you were like, nah, just rock up, man. I've got you, man. Don't even stress yourself, bro. And then I remember you walleted me, and then I was like, bruh, I need to come up. I think you said you guys were gonna start at 10.
Oh yeah, that was most the issue with the withdrawal.
Bro, I go to Spa. Bro, shout out, bro. This was an issue, bro. So I get to Spa. I'm supposed to withdraw the sack, bro. ATM doesn't have the money.
Doesn't have this.
Bro, so I'm like, dang. Alright, so I decided, you know what? I went and got another boy of mine in the hood. His name is O-Dog. And then once we decided, bro, we're gonna walk, man. 2 backpackers. No matter what, bro, we're gonna show up. Took us a bit of a time. I think you guys started at 10. As we showed up like around 3 o'clock.
Like most of the people arrived like really late. I think
Late.
Uni was actually the first guy to rock out. Yeah. Because I remember when we started playing the music, and then we went through the beats now before everyone came. And it was actually, I think, when you were the first guy. Yeah, it was wise and not Uni.
This is good to know. Because I only came in between, bro.
It was Wise, yeah. Wise was the first guy actually to rock up. And then we played the beats. I played him the Drylands Shandy.
Yeah, the thing that you do with Jericho is we play that.
Yeah, the skate song. Hey, but that song. I'm so happy that I didn't lose that song because
that shit is hard.
that shit is hard. Yeah. Like most of the songs on the projects are hard. But just going back to the topic now, in terms of the challenges, just to be real about it, I realized how difficult it is to actually work with Namibian hip hop artists, because everybody has this perspective of them being the top dog, the star of the show. And really, from the beginning, this whole project was a collaborative practice. We're testing out how things can go when we collaborate. But then, I had situations where, people who I felt, okay, cool, this guy is really out there. Let's work together. So I realized that creatives in Namibia are so closed in with their work that they don't want to work with other people. But it shouldn't be like that, we should be open-minded as we are, by creating all of these things. Just look at the amount of content that we created based on our collaboration. But now you find situations where the people that you want to work with don't even respond to your text, or I had those situations where they're like, yo, bro, yeah, don't worry, man, I'll be there, and they don't rock up. But what I like about our team is everybody was committed, bro. From day one, as much as we are busy, all of us have busy schedules. We all have stuff to do, but we committed to this. So that's the highlight of the project, our commitment to it.
I mess with that. And
actually,
please go ahead.
The challenges would have been I actually feel what it's talking about, the whole, you're used to you coming to the studio, you're the guy. No matter what other people say, no matter what beat plays, you're the guy. So it was also different for me because my whole life as a rapper, even as a rapper, if you're not the guy, then what the hell are you rapping about? You gotta be that guy. So coming into a space where it's you have to be able to look at it as third person. Where it's there was some beats where I was fuck, I would murder this shit. But you're nah. We came here to, like he said, collaborate. See how you work with other people, see what other ideas are out there that you don't have. So making myself open to that, it came through a lot because this whole thing was at random for me. I was chilling at vinyls, drinking beers, smoking things day prior. This dude told me the day before, bruh. I was lit.
Oh yeah,
I just heard the homie go hey yo, check it. Tomorrow I got this thing. You should come through. And I was I ain't flying your homies, bro. We'll see what it's about. Cause I didn't even know him, bro. I met him through a homie as well. We later on bonded, and he was this is a cool guy, it's my homie. But before, I didn't even know him. So it was cool. I pulled up and it was everything I didn't expect it to be. I didn't because usually I also have experiences of working with different artists, and usually it's always a thing of you pull up, you guys would talk and all that, but then nothing would ever happen after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
pull
about.
up, do what you gotta do, but nothing would ever happen after that.
Yeah.
Bruh, everybody's energy. And bruh, the day I met H also, bruh, this nigga was I met him before then, but that day he just came through with that crackhead energy, bruh, and we just
H's
got
energy,
shit-
bro. Like,
we got shit together. Bruh.
like if you ever in a bad mood, man, and then you're with H, man, that mood will just fade out,
but
bro.
that's
It's just that positive energy, bro. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that just sums up like my challenge was like overcoming that whole thing of you can't always be the star. You know? Sometimes something that this Travis Scott said on the song with Kendrick is like, you know, don't try to be the center of attention.
Oh yeah.
Play your position. You know, when you run things like that, how we played our position, like how I focus on like content and other ways I can add to the project, and Drew does his managerial stuff because he has like more experiences and you coming with fresh ideas to keep it going.
Oh yes.
Everybody
That
just
is
plays
such a
their
cool
position.
collaboration,
So
like-
yeah. So there's never a sense of like, nah, I feel like this because I have to be
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
It's always a thing of, okay, cool, I know how to do this, but this person might know how to do it better.
Mhm.
Let it flow. And things like you said have just been on top like that, right? It's been cool, right? It's not effort. It's not like forcing yourself to work with someone.
Yeah.
Right? Even if like you really look up to this person's work, but when you meet the person, it's just like you're forcing it and you know you're forcing it, but you're like, nah, but I know this person like hasn't been like that. It's relieving.
I must actually add on just to what we were saying before, where you know if it feels forced, I would leave it. And each moment we created, I never felt forced. That's why you know I just kept creating for me personally. So that's dope. Just to add on to what you're saying, man. To sum up as well, man. What about yourself, man, Ivy? What were some of the challenges that you had coming up to the project?
I feel like one of the biggest challenges that I had while working on this project was I struggled a lot with like self-expression and stuff. And you know, I'm a bit shy and you know, there's this image that I'm trying to portray or whatever. And it's like every single time I came here, I became more comfortable in my skin. And the fact that, okay, I have to give you a shout out, but the fact that everybody here is just so amazed by how you do things the way you wanna do it. It's like, like everybody is just like, that's the way you do it. So it's like, it was also easier for me to express myself because they really gave me that platform of wanting to actually know how I do my stuff and how I work. Nothing was forced. He always made sure he had sweets for me.
Shout out! Make sure.
I had to make sure, and he really made me feel comfortable growing here. Like even now, I dance a lot. Like I did that for the first time here.
Is it? Oh yeah.
I used to practice at home in the mirror. I used to practice at home in the mirror, and one day I was like, yeah, fuck it, like I'm gonna do this in the studio and see how it goes, man. And I did that for the first time here, and it just, bro,
Oh shit! Now that you're talking about mirror, so sorry we're going off topic here, but like just like now the mirror concept or the mirror idea, right? I think we all had like a mirror moment, like where it's either you're rapping in front of the mirror, like checking. Like I used to do that so much, bro. That's why in skate I have like the hook goes and ever since I can remember I've been listening to boom bap, standing in front of mirrors trying to rap. So I've been like practicing like just in the room, and now it's so easy for me like to even contribute to the songs on this project.
For me it was more like I used to do it alone and I would love what I would see, bruh, like, but then I just didn't have the courage to show other people so I did that for the first time here, and then from there it's just been a thing of, you know, I'm comfortable, bruh, like I'm starting to find how can I say, okay, in terms of music I would say I'm starting to find the sound, but in terms of everything else, in terms of being an artist, I would say I'm finding a style that I really like and I'm really comfortable with, and it's fun, you know.
You know, like what I appreciate about you is also your consistency. You know, like you're already an ambassador for Bomba, right?
That stuff is Congratulations.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I saw you on the international freestyle with the Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
That shit was cool too. That shit was cool too.
And imagine all of that came from that first. We had our first session on the Backpackers on the 18th of March, by the way.
Yeah.
So from the 18th of March, just listening and gathering, we created so much content. March, then we went into April, then we went into May, now we're in June.
Yeah,
In just less than in 4 months' time, we've created so much content.
So much content.
And you know how all of us have grown as well as artists.
Yeah,
It's crazy to
that's
consider
crazy.
all of this.
Imagine, bro, like this. Imagine this was like a TV, like one of those Survivor Island shanties where you're gone on an island and you're documenting your everyday
Bro,
shanty.
it's
Like
been
imagine,
4 months.
yeah,
bruh.
imagine all of this was documented in that way, where it shows the transition from how we started to where we are right now,
Yeah.
and
That
how
would be
we've
powerful.
grown as like artists and individuals. That's crazy, man. And even like the type of music that we're creating now. I mean, we're already like starting. We're already preparing for 24. Like there are already a couple of tracks ready for 24. So
I look forward to that.
it's crazy, man. But like just to like be in line with the first episode of the project of the podcast, this is most mainly just to speak about the introduction, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So who, what, when, where, how. What were your talking points?
No. For me, the next question that I wanted to just ask you guys was, what inspired us to want to get this project going, and what I want to keep on inspiring us for, especially the next kinds of projects that we want to see. Because I believe that when we started this off, we didn't just want to see this as a one-time kind of thing, right? We sort of see this as something that can help each of us grow and potentially see us in a position where we'll be leaders and sort of pioneers in what we're doing. You get what I'm saying?
A group that people look up to.
100%.
Like inspiration to the youth, basically. I think the key word here is youth.
100%.
Like hip hop is used or looked as this negative thing, right? Where even in the nowadays music, the music that we have currently, like for example in America, right? It's mostly about just bitches, pop bottles, that type of music. But if you look at our music, it's more conscious. We're talking about what's happening in our environments. The struggles that we're having, and all of these other stuff involved. So like. For example, what inspired the whole project was that to practice the collaboration and to focus on the keyword youth. So we are basically the voice of the youth, creating like sounds or messages to the people's ear. But now, obviously, like if you look at it from a business perspective, in order for us to sustain this, there needs to be funding. Where do we get the funding? How do we get the funding? So those are the areas that we need to look at. So one of the generations or revenue generations would be selling merchandise, for example, right? Or selling tickets through events. But that's not enough,
Yeah, for
because the budget is like,
it's huge, man.
yeah, let's say 50K, for example. And that's just to kickstart it. So how do you sustain, like what revenue streams can we create to sustain it to a level where we can even continue with this the next year? I mean, looking at how far we went already without really much funding, like that's pretty cool how we went, but we can't like live off that forever,
Yeah, that's also the truth.
Everything is a cost, so we need to find those ways on how to get sponsors and look like in order to get those type of things, we need to be consistent. We need to continue creating content and be as professional as possible. I mean, like just look at how we operated. Like that's on a professional level, and how we're building these relationships with other organizations. So we just need to continue with that, and see how far we go with it in terms of also partnering with other people.
Man, I like how you're tying all of this together.
Yeah.
It gives other future creators also a good opportunity to understand how they could go about all of this.
Yeah, because
Yeah, sorry, please go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's not really just about like creating the music. There's a business side of it as well.
That's a good
that's
aspect
how we
as well.
need to also look at it.
Yeah. So this is an important aspect to understand, because I think when we look at the local perspective, majority of the people always look at it only from the creating of the music, you know. So they'll go into the studio, you know, you will create the music, and then you won't necessarily have a plan and an action point of how you're going to release your music. And then thereafter, you know, what is your next follow-up action points? Because, you know, you're also less inspired, like when you mentioned that, you know, you need to sustain. Now, when you come to that part of where it's sustaining yourself, you know, you are left with that gap of, you know, how do you now keep going? And then that's where most of the artists now end up leaving the music.
Getting stuck,
Yeah, they feel like, you know, how do I actually continue? That's where a lot of our artists end up now taking up an additional work, 7 to 5, and then would now get caught up in that sphere, and then would lose their creative aspect, you know, because now they've got very little time to create in between, having left that 7 to 5.
And as a creative, you can't work in distraction, you know. Like even earlier we were talking about like going somewhere remote for maybe like 3 months. Like the first month it's just you doing nothing, just existing and being conscious around like being conscious with the surrounding that you're in and receiving, right? After that, that's when you get into your creative mode and just create whatever is coming without distractions. You know, no, oh shit, I have to wake up to go to work. No calls from clients asking you how far. No, like any other distractions, because that's how you can reach that ultimate level of creativity. Because now there's this saying that says solitude is the best teacher. So like when you're in silence, when you're no surroundings, just you alone, that's when you get to understand yourself and speak with not speak within, but look within. You know, receive information from within instead of like externally. So as a creative, we need that type of environment, you know. But yeah, I know we're living in the world at the end of the day. Money makes the world go round. You know,
unfortunately, you know, we need to consider aspects like that as well, man.
Yeah.
But that's powerful, man. But I'm so curious, man, just before we wrap up, like what are some of you guys' creative processes, you know, just having come from the idea of, you know, you need to be in an isolated state in order for you to create in a flowing kind of manner. So what are some of the ways of, you know, for the project, how you guys went about creating some of your favorite projects, for example? If you could mention like one of your favorite projects, and then, you know, you could also share with me, you know, how you, for example, created it. That would also be pretty dope. I can go first if you don't mind, or if you'd like. Okay, no problem. So, you know, just to start off, I think for me, the most favorite project that I created on the project was definitely WWH3. That was a solo that I did, and it stands for Who I Am, What I Do, and How I Move. So it's a crazy concept, essentially, how I came about all of that too. It's a beat that I did myself as well. So it's a bit more of an elegant beat that I went about. And then I decided that, you know, after making the beat, I think I played it for almost 2 weeks straight, trying to come up with a concept. But I didn't know anything much about it, so I think I came to Drew, man. This was a day right before we were supposed to record. And I went to go and visit a friend of mine, and I kept getting calls, man, and I was just like, man, who are these people, man? What do they want to know, man? And who I am, man. And sort of, you know, that's sort of how,
introducing yourself.
Yeah, it was sort of an introduction, sort of like that as well, and that's sort of how all of this entire concept came about. And I remember I came to the studio and I was here for almost like 4 hours prior, and I was supposed to meet you, so I came and I held the studio. I had like a photography shoot early in the day, and I was just in the space and I kept playing the beat, and I kid you not, I could not write. Nothing came about the entire time, and just when it was an hour before we had to go on, everything just flowed for me. So I don't know, I feel like it could be crunch time madness or procrastination madness in terms of how my creative juices flow, especially for the writing bit. I think when I'm caught in a position where I have to get it done.
So working under pressure.
No matter what, you know, that's sort of how it would flow for me when it comes to writing. So I guess everyone writes different, but I can't write at home and then come and perfect it. I would need to be in the studio. I would need to write literally then and there. I would need to be under pressure in order for me to fulfill and get something done as well.
Careful not to keep
Oh.
So that's essentially how I go about my creation. I don't know, any of you guys would like to step in and share maybe what about yourself, Wise?
I would say the Project 23 is like, because I've been recording for as long as I can remember. So it was more thing of, my main goal was to throw myself in the dark. I like doing that thing where you throw yourself in the dark and allow yourself to basically survive and create a new you. So I approached it as like, I didn't want to write, I didn't want to do like my traditional thing. Traditionally, I would need silence, like any way where I could get silence and just write, because I'm a perfectionist, so I would need silence and then I'd have to write like down my thoughts first. And I'd have to hear the beat, and I have to break that down, see what does the beat mean, what's the sounds in it, how would people react to the beat. I would have to take the beat around, hear how people would actually listen to it because most artists have this thing of, you have basically a talent, right? So you have like a picture you're always trying to portray as yourself without understanding how people perceive you. Because I realized that people have a different of who I am and who you are in somebody else's head. So I would try to get things around to like create more of like what people like, but also in an aspect that would make me comfortable. So with Project 23, I just approached it as like freestyling basically. I was like, nah, let me just see what the beat's giving me and draw off the energy in the room. And when I did it like the first time, I would say my favorite one was Bury Me As Me. It was on the first day.
Bro, I actually love that one as well, bro. I really love the hook on that.
Because like the whole inspiration behind that was just what I saw within the room and how I saw people in the room move, and everybody was giving off their energy, but not in a sense of you're trying to overshadow anyone. So that's why I came up with the concept Bury Me As Me. It was like a thing of, if I'm gonna play this game and we're gonna do these things of trusting each other, bury me as me, but like, let's just be ourselves. And that's what my creative process in that for this project specifically was, just assessing the energy in the room and then building off of that. And it's brought out beautiful music, because like it's not anything that I thought of. It's not something I was at home with and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna write this, or like I wrote it down. I see this pure energy that just manifested itself in a different way.
Oh, yeah.
So like I fuck with that shit. That shit hit home.
That's powerful, bro. Man, we appreciate that. True, Ivy, which one of you would like to go first? Who would like to go last?
Ivy can go.
I think my favorite experience, or my favorite song that we recorded on Project 23 was What It Is. Cause I remember I don't think I was having a good day, or I don't think I was having a good week. So that day I remember I woke up, I think I spoke to you the day beforehand or something like that. I don't remember, but I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna cool off. I didn't even know what was going to happen when I got here. And even when I called, I was just like, yo, you at the studio? He's like, yeah, I'm at the studio. Like, alright, bruh, check, ne? Like, I really didn't write for shit. School has been messing me up and all of that, bruh. Can I just swing by and let's just see what happens? He's like, bruh, you know what, bruh, just pull up. I'm like, cool. Yeah, I go pick up from the, wink, wink. I go pick up from the wink, wink, and I pull out. We have a little conversation. And then we were looking for beats. We started beat surfing, and I was like, yo, I have this one beat in my phone. Like, is it cool if we use it? He's like, yeah, bruh, play that shit. Cool. I play a couple of beats. I chill with the beat for a while, I sat in a corner, giving my paper and my pen. I was writing, and I got tired of writing. We changed the energy for a while, played music, then we played back the beat, and it was just like, it was a cool experience, man. And
we finished the song in that day, right?
We finished the song on that day and recorded visuals on the same day for that song. So everything just happened in one day.
Nah, that's crazy.
Because for me, it's like, like I said, for me, it's like if you are down to work, like I'm always down to work. And the fact that you really gave me that platform to really just, and I don't even know how to explain in words how much I appreciate that, bruh. Like, I don't think y'all understand, bruh. Coming from a background of where nobody really just, and now I was really given a platform to just.
I know you're good, bruh.
If you're awake,
Ain't nobody gonna put in your house,